Hey guys, this is MKNK and welcome to the first session of Behind the Beat. So this song started off with this kick pattern. And I decided to layer it with another kick which sounds like this. And when you put both of them together, this is how it sounds like. It adds a little bit more of that body and that bigness of that kick to it. The next thing I added was a snare, which is just on the 2 and the 4s. And I added an accent snare to give it more of a groove. And this is how it sounds like when it's put together. I played around with the volume of the hi-hats just to give it that extra bit of groove. The next step was finding a nice 808 to sit with the kick. This is how the drums sound like with the 808. The next step was adding a brass. I have this impact where I added an arpeggiator and also heavy reverb to give it that atmospheric kind of feel. 3 different bells that I added together to create one single patch. And I added some reverb on it just to give it a little bit of that tail. And that's basically it for the verse. The pre-chorus is actually just broken down into a few different elements. It's pretty simple. And of course we have to start with our snare. I layered that with a clap. Next off, I added something that's not typically in your EDM build-up, and that's kicks on the upbeat. This one gives it a little bit more of that heartbeat kind of feel. I wanted to create that anticipation that is building up towards something, and hence I added this heartbeat kind of effect to give that kind of emotion to it. I scooped up all the highs to make it feel more like a heartbeat. And I added a heartbeat sound effect as well. And when you put both of them together, this is how it sounds like. And this is actually the synth that gives it that attitude and that grit to everything. This low synth bass just to give it a little bit of that body. That's about it for the instruments. And of course I added an impact that comes in right when the pre-chorus comes in to give it that super big feel. Nothing like that, big ass impact. And I added a lifter to give it a little bit more of an anticipation. I also added a white noise to ease the transition. So the thing about white noise is when you transition from one part to another part, sometimes it can sound a little bit jarring. So this white noise actually helps gel those different parts together. So the next part was to have a better transition from the pre-chorus to the chorus, and this is how I achieved it with this sound, this sound, this sound, and this sound. And when you put all of them together, this is how it sounds like. And that's it for the pre-chorus. And so we reached the end. This is actually actually the third and the last session for the song. And we're gonna start off with bringing back the kick, which is from the verse. And I also brought back the 808, which is actually the most important part of this section. Gives it a little bit of the bounce. For this section I added a snap to give it a little bit of a different feel from the verses and the pre-chorus. I also added this hip-hop vocal sample, which gives it a little bit of that groove. Layered with a recording of both Sachie and Jenn saying. And we've come to my favorite part of this section, which is actually a loop from Logic. It's a bongo loop and it sounds super badass. It gives it that super laid back vibe that I really love. The next section is actually the build up of the chorus. It starts with the brass, followed by some hi-hats, and also the snare. But the thing that actually gives it that extra bit of groove is that snare roll. And that's it for the chorus. I hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it, and hopefully it inspires you to make new music and try out unconventional methods for your own music. This is actually the first time I'm making a video like this, but it definitely would not be the last. And like, comment and subscribe for more updates, and thanks for watching. This is MKNK signing out.